the main mass links window, you'll see that there is this sample list here. In this first column, this is what you will name your data file. In this case, we're just calling it test. And if you have any additional text to tack onto that file, you can put it into the file text window here. We've already covered the inlet file, how to hook up a UV detector and select the parameters for the UV detector. But in this video, we're going to talk about the MS file in particular, how to set that up. So if you want to set up a particular MS experiment, you right-click on this cell here, go to Edit, and this will open up the experiment setup window. So let me just get rid of this. So at the moment, we have no experiment setup whatsoever. You'll see on the top here a bunch of colored buttons. These are the different experiments that you can run on the triple quad. You have a single ion reaction monitoring experiment, multiple ion reaction monitoring, a regular MS scan, parent ion scan, and daughter ion scan. Those are the most important, along with some other more advanced MS/MS techniques. To set up an experiment, let's say we just want to do a full scan from 50 to 2000 mO/Z. We can click on MS scan, and that opens up this function window. Here we can set up our mass range. We can select what ionization mode we're in. We can select how our data is collected, our start and end time, along with the scan time and interscan time. As well, we can set up a specific cone voltage for this experiment to be run on. In most cases, we'll be using what we've set up on the tune page, so we'll leave it at that, and we'll hit OK. And now you can see a new experiment is generated, a full MS scan from 0 to 3000 minutes, which is 50 hours, which is plenty of time, but we'll stop it on our own. From 50 to 2000 m/Z in the positive ion mode. We can add on extra experiments that come in at different times, or we can have multiple experiments run at the same time. So if I wanted, for example, to monitor an ion in the negative mode, just a single mass, I can go to the SIR button here, and it opens up a new function. Here I can select the negative ion mode, what span the mass window is, the interchannel delay, that's the delay between different ions that I'm monitoring, and the interscan delay, that's the delay between this SIR and your MS scan, along with the time. Now remember that I started the MS full scan at 0 minutes, so I want to set this at 0 minutes for both of these experiments to be running in tandem at the same time. And it can end at 3000 minutes, but we'll stop it manually. You can give your compound a name, but that's not necessary or not important. But what is important is selecting the mass. Let's say we want to monitor 200 in the negative ion mode, dwell on that mass for 1 second, and we're good. If you wanted to add different species that are run at the same time, you can. I can look at 250, 300, 350 in the negative ion mode and dwell on them for 1 second each, or maybe half a second, and so on. Once I'm done filling out this table here, I just hit OK, and there's a new experiment. So the order that the experiments are run in sequence are from top to bottom. So if I wanted to start with an MS scan in my experiment, I'll just move this guy up to the top. I can also add many more experiments. I can add an MRM, I can add a parent ion scan, which is an MS/MS mode, or a daughter ion scan. For example, if I wanted to at the same time monitor daughters of 500, I can select my mass window here in the positive ion mode, starting at the same time with variable scan time and a set collision and cone voltage energy. Click OK, and that's added to the top of the list. So the way it is now is when I start this experiment, it will do a daughter ion scan of the mass that I've selected here. It will do a full scan from 50 to 2000, and then it will do an SIR of 4 masses in the negative ion, or in the positive ion mode, I guess. Negative ion mode. There we go. Once I have everything set up on this page and I'm happy with the configuration, I can go to save, and that will save my experiments, saved as MS scan at the moment, and we're ready to start acquisition. We've already set up our UV detector to scan from 190 to 800 nanometers. We set up our MS experiments and we're ready to go. So at this point we click on our sample that we're running, which is this case, one column. Click on play at the top here and it will ask, do you want to start? Basically, we can hit OK. This file already exists, we'll just overwrite it, and we're good to go. And it will say initializing and acquiring, but more importantly, on the bottom of the screen it says waiting for inlet start 1. That means that it's waiting for communication between the detector and the mass spec to close, and the way that that's set up now is with a button just on the desktop of the Ultima workstation. So once I click this button, you'll notice that this window, or this section here, changes to acquiring, and we can see that we're actually acquiring scans here already. And that's how it's done. Once you're done acquiring a certain experiment, just go to the top, hit stop run, click OK, and it'll stop. Another important thing to do is go into your UV detector and ensure that this is off as well, and it is. Oh. Now it is. Good. And that's the end.